Welcome to the kitchen sink. We will chat, we will make you think. You will not want to go to the loo. You could miss a lot if you have that poo. Stay and watch and join in. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. How are you? Hello, everyone.
Look how good you're looking.
So are you. Thank you, Lucy. You can really see your sparkles.
I only bought a game show host jacket for $5 from the Chazzers.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Come on. Stand up. Let's have a look. Oh, I like it. How much was that?
£5.
Is that all? Carrie Lush.
I was walking past. I was like, literally like walking past. I went,
hello.
Stop! Stop! Just walked straight in. I was like, don't care what size it is. So I had to fold it over and scrunch it up a bit, Miami Vice. But
yes, it's back in. Back in, Lucy. You've heard it here first. Bastion of fashion that we are. And in honour of our guest Vix Leyton, we've both dressed up tonight. That's why we've both got makeup on. Well, I've got makeup on. You just have natural beauty. And I've got a bit of sparkles, but you can't really see. But trust me, there is sparkly in there somewhere. I'm cold. I have to have sleeves. I'm so cold tonight.
How are you?
Well, I'm very well. Been to B&M. I know everyone's desperate to know what the B&M situation is this week. And I've got to say, I nearly bought, they had a drink called Gin Bombs, but they didn't have the tonic. And I haven't got tonic here. So I've gone for Flying Kite Rosé, £1.19. I don't trust myself with the full-size bottle. I can't be doing with a hangover.
After the Harry's incidents.
Yes. So I've got that. I've got that. Because the trouble is, I'm like, oh, I like the look of that, but I like it. So I end up getting everything. And I say, right, I'll only drink one, and then I end up drinking it all. This is Strongbow cider.
But it's in a glass bottle.
Cider.
The glass adds the class.
Bottle.
That's what we said.
Class. I love that. And it's rosé, so it's not.
Exactly. You're not a tramp on a bench, sir. You're a lady.
Not yet. So they could have made an effort, though. They've gone, we'll just chuck some rosé in a bottle. That'll do. But the labelling is still very manly, Strongbow. Not that we're gendering drinks or anything.
Alcohol. A Welsh woman going
flour or something on it.
This is what Welsh women always find. It's the labelling that keeps them from drinking.
Yes. But it doesn't make sense, does it? Anyway, for men who like rosé, Strongbow, B&M have got you covered. We haven't got, I just want to make it clear, we haven't got any kind of sponsorship yet. But look, for a £5 a week, B&M, get in touch, give us a ring. But
what have we learned? You put it out to the universe hears it.
Yes, and goes, screw you, buy your own drink. So far. But my piece de resistance, and I'm going to see what you think, because I looked at that and thought, well, it's classy because we've got a classy guest, but also it might be rank, all right, is Amaretto Sour. Now, that's the cocktail. It was 89p. So I'm not holding out much hope, but it is a cocktail. And look, that's nice, Mark. Like nice. It
For
looks
people who are
nice.
also a fan of the Alice and John podcast, this definitely comes under the tick off a taste section.
I have to say, right, it does say on it, and if I said to you the word
product may be curdled.
If I said to you the word nitrogen, what do you think? Nitrogen. What immediately springs to mind?
A noble gas.
A noble gas, right? They reckon that means smooth finish. With nitrogen for a smooth finish. Now, I would have thought nitrogen for blowing your head off. Not necessarily smooth finish.
I mean, nitroglycerin You know?
Yes, that's what I'm getting it from.
You know, when in Fast and the Furious, they just flick the nitro switch. Sarah Bridgman flicks the amaretto sour. Vroom, vroom.
The question is, do I try this now or after?
Yes, because I'm intrigued. Also, I don't want you to gag in front of the guest.
I have got plenty of vessels I could be sick into. Ooh. Oh shit!
That's the nitro.
I've lost the hand. Right, right, and I have got my nice, iridescent glasses.
I was going to use a wine glass, but I don't know.
God.
How can you make Carlsberg more posh?
It's puce green.
Sarah, everybody but you was expecting that.
Surely they would have, when they were testing it, they went, somebody must have gone, but it looks like someone's just been sick that has had zero food in their stomach. It is puce green. Should we alter that? And they go, no, I'll be fine. No one will give a shit. It smells
I can just
nice.
imagine the male marketing. Hey, ladies, doesn't look attractive. Try it. You might like it.
Wait till you hammer before you go for this one. That one, you won't give a shit. That's what that says to me.
On the description, does it use the word coagulant?
Yeah, the sour. I thought the sour would mean the taste, not the look of it. Not like.
Right, come on.
Right, it smells amaretto.
Right.
It smells actually like marzipan. It's very strong. Right. Ooh. It is sour.
It is sour.
Nice. Yeah. But it's 5%, so I'm not going to drink anymore because I haven't had my tea yet either. We don't need to.
That's a little bit like a meal in a glass there, sir. You could do that and then knock out a quick marathon.
That is nice.
Is it?
I would drink that again. Try that again, for sure.
Maybe that's what men can call their spunk. An amaretto sour.
So that's how I am. I am happy I have my booze.
Shall I do the same with mine? Okay, so yes. I've got Carlsberg in a can. It smells. Hang on, I'm getting notes of lager. Let me just see what it looks like. Yeah, I'm getting hot. And hang on. Yeah. Oh, it's like listen to the sea. It's like listening to the sea. I'm on the beach. I'm in Gran Canaria right now.
Crying, all Swansea seafront. That's what Carlsberg says to me.
Unbelievably, our podcast is mainly listened to by females, but the live show is mainly watched by men. So let's give some name checks. Hey to Luke.
Hey Luke. I know Luke.
Hey Luke. And then we've got another Luke. Is that one of your Lukes? Because the next one is my Luke. There we go. Tea time. That's hello in Canada. And then we got Andy Tulip. What a beautiful name. Hi there. And a lovely picture there. And right, my friend Steve is using this phrase. I'll explain it. Right. So have you ever seen the like a Bailey's, but it's called amaretto. It's got an elephant on it. We call it elephant's jizz.
What do you call it?
Kahlua. We call it elephant's jizz. So if you're on the ferry and you're about to meet up with your mates and you go, I'm on the ferry, then you just get a load of text going, pick us up some elephant jizz, will you, sweetheart? Luke Logan from Edmonton in Canada is saying, you're on the Geordie shore. Just a couple of those sours, love, should be on the Geordie floor. Let's have a look.
And we're off.
Only if I be on the marzipan. I know, like, you're nuts, mate. We've been told from the dining room that Andy Tulip is a babe.
Ooh. And is he a single babe? That's what we need to know.
She's champing at the bed. The reason why she's in the dining room already is she heard the scratch of all the sequins, and it was like a Shoreditch sort of call. She could hear the scratching of the sequins, and she was like, I hear glitter.
I feel like I should have put on a more glittery top. You two are so glittery.
Oh, has the dining room got glitter? Of course. I'm getting heckled from the living room. Obviously, Sarah's got glitter on as well, Mum. Can I carry on with the broadcast? Sorry about that, people. Just want to get this out before we get our guest on. I did my first day at work today.
Yay! And what do you work as, Lucy?
I'm a tipper driver.
Yay! It's your dream job. Well, next to comedy.
Yeah. So from tippers to toppers, clang. Thought of that today.
That was it. That was it then. Did you take the morning off after that? You were like on the loo first thing. I'm having that. Rest of the day off.
When I got my first tipper truck that was my own, everyone loved it, but I didn't. So I named it Lana Del Rey because I fucking hate Lana Del Rey and I hated that fucking truck, but everyone else said it was brilliant, right? My next truck caused a bit of an effect because it was a newer truck and it shouldn't be given to somebody like me because, quote unquote, I don't take the industry seriously. So I called it Taylor Swift because the haters are going to hate. So I have named my new truck Britney Spears because it's got a shit of a clutch, which we know in the industry is called a hot box. And if you've watched the Oops, I Did It Again video, my truck's hot box is hotter than hers.
Oh my God, that feels like a blast in the past now. Like, how old is Oops, I Did It? No, not Oops, I Did It Again. Which one is it?
Yeah,
the one she's on Mars.
I did. No singing. No music.
No, that's the one. She's dressed in red. She's on Mars. Yeah. That's the video, isn't it? How old is that? That's one of those ones, you know, like, oh, I feel old yet? This is 25 years old. That's how old is this? Oh, that one. Got a little bit. Oh, did you hear about Britney being mentally kidnapped by her dad? Yeah.
Oh, hashtag Free Britney.
Free Britney, yes.
I covered this story for the Weekly Bazaar.
Go on.
And I really, really looked into it. And what they're saying is that because she's a little bit, you know, getting out of the limousine with the and shame in the head and then driving with the baby on her lap, her father decided that he took over her appointment calendar and the PIN number to her bank account.
What does he do?
Yes. And I love the fact I can see in the dining room, our guest just went,
we gotta get her on.
It's a stressful job. He had to pay himself $170,000 last year to look after a bank account.
Can I apply for that role? I don't mind. I don't mind just checking in once a day. Yes, it's fine.
Mama Spears tried to get in touch and went,
hello.
I think she's all right, or at least can I be on the board of committee because one of us needs to like her. And it was batted out. So Free Britney. It's still going on.
Yes. Poor cow. Well, Oops, I Did It Again. Do you want to hazard a guess how old that is?
Oh Jesus. Go on.
No Googling, woman. I can see you looking down at your phone.
I wasn't looking at my phone, honestly.
Come on, hazard a guess.
I'm going to say 26 years old.
Oh, come on. It's not that old. 26 years, nearly 30 years. Okay.
I know how old I fucking am.
You were 7 when it came out, were you? Right.
What is it? 20? Is it 20 years of that shit Wonderwall album?
Yes.
Round about that. Go on. 20.
It was released in. Oh no, hang on. It's got here about Britney Spears released on the TV show Will and Grace. That can't be right.
Right. Stand by.
Stand by, everyone.
When was Oops, I Did It Again released?
Year of release. Does anybody want to hazard a guess before we go? It's this.
May 2000.
16th of May 2020. 2000 exactly. So it's 20 years. So I got it right because I know how.
You said 27 years, and actually mine says 2004. So screw you. God, I tell you what, this is aggressive. Aggressive, this drink is. Very aggressive.
Right, in that case, I'll take over welcoming the guests and then you can just attack.
Don't just attack. Thank you very much. Yes, okay. Let's drink. Well, look, that's super early though, but that's fine. That's fine.
No, it's super early, but I like the idea that she's I like the
fact because I went.
No, hang on. You didn't give me the Paddington stare. Right. Let's bring our guest on. If she gives us a thumbs up, she's comfortable on coming in early. Yes.
Awesome.
Right. Okay. Let's get this banner off. We don't need to hear. We're not brought to the phrase of "Gotta love Carlsberg." That's not Vix's ESP.
That's not the branding. That's not the marketing for Vix Leyton. Although it could be.
Right. With no further ado, drop the bombshell.
Yay! Hey! How you doing? Out in the dining room, enjoying it?
Yeah, very sparkly. I got to get myself a proper sparkly one. I have got a sparkly one, but it's short sleeved and I'm bloody freezing tonight. So I thought this one would do, but you couldn't see it.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you very much.
I don't know why I'm peering over like I can peer into your box. That's not how it works. Like, show me what.
I love you're our first guest that is actually in a kitchen. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, this is the only room in the house, really. This is the kitchen, the dining room, the lounge. Lockdown's going great.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the winter.
Go with the fact you planned it. Go with the fact you planned it.
Yep, I'm on the hard seltzer tonight. Tastes like water. It's got booze in it. It's great.
Oh,
and
hard seltzer.
Yeah.
I had tried hard seltzer and it reminds me of that water that's got flavouring. So it's not just like squash. It's not like an Oasis, but it's sort of advertised as like summer fruit sparkling water. It's got that.
Just a touch of something. Just a little bit of something. So you're not drinking neat vodka.
I thought seltzer was that stuff that you drank with water to settle your stomach. I thought that's what.
That's definitely not what this does.
No.
But it looks like a soft drink if you're uninitiated, so you can drink it in the workday on your Zoom calls. I don't, but you could. It's just an idea. I'm just brainstorming here.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's going to be better than if I'm drinking this during the day, my work calls. I'm sure someone will be having a little chat with me.
Or will you be having a little chat with them? Get out in front of it.
And they'll be backing off going, okay, sir, anyway, got stuff to do.
I get bullshit when I've had a couple of drinks.
I used to work a lot of festivals and events, and if you don't want to be seen drinking, pop it in a coffee cup.
These are hot tips, guys. These
hot tips for the alcoholics out there.
Yeah, come to the kitchen, take the borderline alcohol problem. We're in an airport, guys. This is like airport time lockdown. It's appropriate to drink anywhere. It's appropriate to sleep at any time. It's an airport. We don't know where we're waiting to go, but we really hope it's somewhere better than this, don't we?
Yes, absolutely.
During lockdown, if you've achieved something like 3 naps in a day, that's tweetable.
That I aspire to that level of relax. That is delicious. What I do is make loads and loads of cups of coffee though, so there's no sleep for me. No naps, no sleep, just awake all the time. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I've got through them. I've completed ACAST, so that's fine.
I've completed
it, mate.
Yeah.
Put your podcast recommendations in the comments to me. I need new things. Otherwise, I just listen to old things because I listen to like BBC News Quiz, but the one with Sandy Toksvig from years ago, where like the big news is like Ed Miliband's eating a bacon sandwich and everyone's losing their minds. I'm like, oh, guys.
Those are the days. Yeah.
I attended a recording of a Sandy Toksvig's news quiz.
Me too. I was a proper fangirl about it. Yeah, it was so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That is on my list of reasons I got into comedy. So I want to do a musical with Jade Adams and Kira Pritchard McLean. I want to do an episode of the news quiz. I've added Drunk Women Solving Crime now as well.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's my dream job. BBC Radio 4 panelist, full time. Listen to my hot bad takes all day.
Well, I don't see why not. Go for it. That's what I say. Yeah, you've got the glittery top. What more do you need, isn't it?
When I watched the recording of the news quiz, what came really clear very quickly is they do 2.5 hours of taping for a half-hour show because it's filth, swearing, and they are constantly interrupted by the signal of, guys, can we actually use something that we can put on the radio? It's everything that keeps coming.
I did a corporate lunchtime gig today, actually, and we weren't told what swearing we were and weren't allowed. And because I'd organised it, I was really stressed about it. I was like, is this okay? This is a work thing. Everyone's in their houses, so you think it's quite chill, but then you're like, are they liking this? Is that all right? What I've done here? Like, but it seemed to go all right. So I've had no complaints directly to my face, and I don't really care about feedback delivered behind my back. So when people are like, can I give you an honest opinion? I'm like, I don't want it. Like,
I'll stop you there.
Write it on a piece of paper, put it in the bin.
Yeah, email it to me. I'll just give you my work email.
Don't give a fuck about this at goaway.com.
Yeah.
Only praise, please.
I think it was when Jenny Collier was on and we were discussing about how people like to come up to you at the end of the gig. When I say people, men like to come up to you at the end of the gig and give you advice on how they think you can improve. And I remember it was
never the ones that have hit it out of the park.
No,
either, is it? It's never the ones where you're like, fuck, you smashed that, mate. It's always the one that
well, my first ever gig, and the microphone was really poppy, really like there was move it 1 mil that way or 1 mil that way, and everything was pop, and
that's the worst.
It was just everybody had this system where it was just making this pop noise. And there was a couple, they were almost like out of a fast show sketch. They had a gilet and red wine lip liner. And if they didn't hear something during the set...
You can't judge red wine lip liner. We've all been there. We've all thought we were having a good time of getting away with it and then gone to the toilet and gone like, it's a joker. Like, the gilet, thanks are right. But we cannot talk smack about red wine lips.
If he didn't hear what somebody said, he'd just turn mid-sentence to his wife and just go, "What did he say?" And then she'd go, "They're talking about a nurse," right? And he came up because the MC made a big point of me before I went on and after I went on, saying how it's my first ever gig. Haven't I done well?
We all love that.
He beckoned me over with this wizened old hand and went, "Come here, girl, come here." And then told me how I should improve my microphone technique. But when he did the come over here, he actually pulled my hair. So I was thrust into this red wine, breathy, gilet situation as a farmer told me how I should have better mic techniques. I was like,
is this story ends with you punch him in the face, right?
And how long was Lucy?
How quickly did you punch him in the face? Because I would have been.
How many stitches did he need?
Yeah.
I was like on cloud 9 from doing my first gig. He could have told me that every joke I told was shit, and I'd have been like, "Don't care."
That's such a common thing, though. I've got introduced by loads of MCs where they're like, "Isn't she adorable?" And it's like, right, I'm going to do 5 really crass minutes about toilets now, guys. This is how it's going to go.
Yeah. It's so weird.
I don't want to be adorable at 36. That's not really what I'm here for. I want to be funny.
Yeah.
Isn't she sweet?
I thought, welcome to the stage, the cuddly Sarah Bridgman once. Cuddly.
How quickly did you punch him in the face?
I couldn't because I know him and he's a lovely guy. So I was like, it was only, when you're like, do you like just to hear that? And it's only afterwards. So you're like, well, cuddly is code for fat, isn't it? We all know that. We all like.
It's like when people say that you're looking well, that's not what they mean. Like it's never
well. No.
Yeah, you look well. You've been living well, have you? Yes.
Enjoy the chocolates. That's what that means. But cuddly, you can't get away from. It's like, it's so like, and also I did get banged to rights once years ago because I went on. Before everyone went over to Facebook, we all used to go onto Chortle because there used to be the Chortle boards, and they were legendary for people just totally trolling each other. And I was on the boards just moaning away about how I keep introduced to the stage as anything other than funny, whereas the men, regardless of how long they've been doing comedy, they're always introduced, oh, he's hysterical. It could be their first gig and they'd be always hysterical, right? But women in general always go, oh, she's gorgeous, she's lovely, right? I was moaning away about it. And I'd completely forgotten that a couple of weeks before I was emceeing in a gig and I'd introduced one of my bloke comedy friends, as the sexy and gorgeous, just to get my own bag. And he went onto the boards going, Sarah, don't you remember that? I was like, right, man, bang to rights.
Did you feel objectified? Did you? Welcome to our world.
Well, yes, exactly. Although I have to say, I didn't really learn about feminism that much until I came into comedy. Because I've just never been as aware of being a woman or identified by other people as female until I started comedy. And I was like, this is, when it smacks you, like in the corporate world, the odd thing will happen. Like I was setting up a meeting and the director of the company, I was kneeling on the floor to like try and open the door with it clips at the bottom, and the director of the company said, oh, why are you down there? And I was like, Bill, you can't say that to me. And then he's like, oh, you're one of those feminists, you. Yeah. And I was, and afterwards you're like, that doesn't seem right. But it's not stuff that happens every day. It's one thing now and then. And then in comedy, you're like, oh, this is quite rife that I'm having a completely different experience to my male counterparts. Oh, okay. And then I had to like learn about feminism and figure it out. But the first 5 years of learning about it, I was just white hot fury about how, it's lucky. This is quite, this is me speaking quite well about it, because normally I'm just furious that it's, it's so unfair and so like unequal, How about you guys? Have you always been aware of? Well, I'm sure Lucy has, because you have worked in the truck industry.
Yeah.
Are you aware? Everyone aware of sexism? Everybody?
I work in personal finance.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Unbelievable. Comedy's not paying the bills. Unbelievable.
No, it really isn't. It's,
Do you find that? I mean, obviously, sexism is sexism. But do they transfer that to? Are you sure that you can do the sums, or will you make the right decisions? How does the sexism go into doing something like that?
It's just you sometimes find yourself the person making the notes, and you don't understand how it's happened. And if no one makes the notes, it kind of falls to you, or organising things like the socials, for example. So you're the social secretary, and for some reason you're the person having to ring up the pub, checking if they can fit 30 people in for a finger buffet. And you take it on, because I think with a lot of women, you are quite solutions focused, and you will, if a job needs doing, you'll do it. And it's only then that you realise, oh, I'm doing all the labour for this party, and the men are just going to turn up, and that's fine. And it's like, it's not, I don't think it's deliberate necessarily. I think it is. There's a lot that's structural where you do sort of fall into, and like the way I like negotiate things, for example, it's only quite over the last few years I've started on principle asking for more money than I'm offered in a new job, which I think is And, you know, my arse was sweating the first time I did it. I didn't know your arse cheeks could sweat, and they can, because they did. And I was like grovelly about it as well, because it was like, and it was so much lower than I thought I was going to get. But I was groveling away going, oh, but there's no chance I'm not going to accept the job. But, you know, I would like it just a little bit more. Is that all right? Just a little bit more. And they gave it to me. And I was like, oh, it's that easy, is it? And I've done it ever since. In every job I've done, I've asked for more money, even if what I've been offered is fine. And like usually it's men that I've been dealing with, and they're like, yeah, great. So I think we kind of need to get over our own sort of mental barriers as much as anything else. And I don't blame women or men for stuff like this. It's just we're more likely. I will go for a job, and I think this is the same like women who want to do stand-up. Loads of my mates have said they'd love to do it, but they'd rather go on with a perfect 5 minutes.
Yeah,
like, they're like, oh, I'm not ready. Like I need to really perfect it. And you see, like a lot of women, I was the same with like your notes and you're ready and you've got your gig. Whereas I think for the most part, and that's why you see a lot more men are happy to just get up, and you do most of your learning on the stage. So even if you've got a perfect 5 minutes written down, sometimes the audience isn't with you, sometimes it doesn't go that way. And I think, there's been a clear difference for me. And women mates who are like, oh, what if I'm not good at it? I won't do it. Whereas the men I've dealt with who are new are like, I think I'd be fucking awesome at it. I'm going to do it. And there's just a different mindset. And that's my own personal experience. It might not be true of everybody, but that's the difference I've seen in the way people have spoken to me about comedy. Like men and women, like men are like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to do it. I just haven't got time. Whereas women are like, oh, that is the worst thing I can possibly imagine. What's it like if people don't laugh? I'm like, you don't die. It's like, and you know what the worst case scenario is. It's like it's going to be over soon, regardless.
Absolutely. You know, 5 minutes in the scheme of your whole life isn't long.
No.
But
it can be though, can't it?
Yeah. It feels like
speed dating. That is and just awful first dates. That's the only time I've really known the passage of time in the way that I've known it. I did a gig in Croydon, and I made it into a joke, so it wasn't all bad in the end. But I was talking about when I got run over by a bike, and that is the only thing that the Croydon audience laughed at. The idea of me being run over by a bike. They didn't laugh at a single other thing, and I was like, "Wow, you guys really hate me, and there's nothing I can do." And I had a 10, and that was in like the first minute, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be rough."
Yeah. But then afterwards you think, right, if that happens again, what would I do differently, isn't it? That's how we learn, isn't it? It's because
I just did some stuff that I wanted to say out loud for the first time. So it's like, you're not going to like any of it, so I might as well use the time to like try and tell you some stuff. So because sometimes you just need to say stuff out loud, and you're like, oh, that was awful, but I know the connecting piece now to do it. So it's just, but yeah, it was a really tough trip back home, because I was on a really well-lit carriage and I was looking at my own face reflected next to me constantly with a proper cob on. And yeah, that was not a great commute. And I was like, it's fine. Everybody had a bad time. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand why trains don't dim the lights though. But, you know, like aeroplanes at night dim the lights. Like, turn it down a bit. It's like, I don't need that kind of introspection. I don't need to make eye contact with myself. Like, it really ruins my vibe that I'm in a film. You know, when you put your sad music on to really live with it, having to look at your own face when you think you're looking wistful and like Keira Knightley out the window, and actually you look like you. Like, it's rubbish. Completely damages it, breaks the fourth wall, makes me feel like I'm not a heroine in a film and I'm just living my life for millions of others. I don't need that kind of reality. I need it. So.
I personally hate it having candid photos taken of me, or candid videos. And in comedy, there's always someone who wants to take a photo and share it with you. And I'm like, actually, I did not need to see, triple chins and, me having a photo from at least 3 foot below me because you're so frigging short. Do you know what I mean? And I think I look gorgeous, and then I see photographic evidence. I'm like, no thanks. I would rather stick with what I've got in my head. Thanks very much.
My lovely friend Lisa put one up earlier, and it was at a low angle because she was sat at a table. I was like, this is doing nothing for me. Yeah. It's like, I really love it, but can I just untag myself?
Yeah. Can you just delete that and whatever the equivalent of online burning is?
I don't want to see that ever again.
Just trying to get a word in edgeways between you two bloody women. right? When you were out dying on stage and how you don't actually die, I wanted to point out a very famous male that died on stage. So you know how the Scottish audiences were always known as a bit more truthful and aggressive if they don't like how the gig is going. Famously, Des O'Connor fainted during his set because it was going so badly. It was the only way he knew he could get off. And even though he was faking to be fainted, he got carried off the stage, which is why from then on, Morecambe and Wise said Des O'Connor was the only person that can sell advertising space on the soles of his shoes.
That's such a good story. I did consider faking my own death in Croydon, to be honest. I mean, that's the good thing about Zoom gigs. You can just close the laptop, can't you? Just like, no, thanks, no.
It's an option. Yeah. And for our younger viewers, you can Google Des O'Connor and Morecambe and Wise. Lucy loves
For our younger viewers, you should already have Googled Des O'Connor and Morecambe and Wise, and shame on you.
Educate yourselves.
I'm not dumbing down. They could raise themselves up.
That's the spirit. That's how we're going to take over the world.
Talking of spirit, she chinks her bottles away in the background.
I'm nearly through my cocktail. I'll be going on to the rosé next.
Cheeky.
Brilliant. Because nothing better than amaretto sour and cider.
This was the gin that I was supposed to be drinking during the show, but it went down. It went down too quick. It's already gone. I put a little bit of pumpkin spice syrup in it to make it Halloweeny.
Ooh, very nice. We're going to be doing Halloween makeup later.
Ooh,
Lucy doesn't wear makeup, so I'm going to teach her how to do makeup. We're going to do a simple cat face at the end.
Oh, that's going to be fun. I might join in.
Oh, yes, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
I went to London recently, and my friend said I got ready at my friend's house. She's like, you're going to get ready, and I was like, I am.
I love it. You know when you go and have a night out with your friends, and you turn up at their house, and they go, Is that what you're wearing?
No, it's not. For me, it's more pastag. It's like, what are you wearing later? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This.
What I'm wearing now.
What more do you want?
I was really proud. I pulled out my mascara, and she went, "Is that it?" And then she gave me like an orphan starter kit of makeup. And one of the implements in it is an eyeliner, and it's ready sharpened. So there you go. I have one.
That's some pro kit there that she's giving you.
Eyeshadow.
Have you got foundation?
I don't know what primer is. Have it now.
Put it on before all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's good. It smooths your skin and makes the makeup look better.
Because this isn't my bone structure. This is just shiny makeup that's tricking people. Honestly, once you're onto it, you can't go back.
And you
lips,
always
cheeks,
look gorgeous.
cosmetic finish. Can you see that?
What's
so
that?
It's lips, cheeks,
Ooh.
lips, cheeks, and a cosmetic finishing. Paw, which I thought, isn't that what monkeys eat?
Dr. Paw, he's well known for his lip balms. Or she. I don't know why I gendered them.
Sexist.
I know. Doctors can be women, or they might identify as a completely different gender. And that's okay too.
Three different eyeshadows. One's blue, and I was happy about that because I used to wear blue eyeshadow when I was about 16, 17. This one is basically my skin color. So I don't know the point of that. But there's a bit of shimmer to it. And then this one's a bit darker. Do you remember Rimmel lipsticks, the cheap ones that had the sort of push-up bit? This one is like the coffee shimmer. If you remember coffee shimmer, Rimmel.
Yeah. You buy them in like your local chemist as well. That was like the dream.
Yes. Corner shop chemist. Yeah.
Yeah, with your the Heather lipstick.
Oh, Heather! It was Heather and Coffee Shimmer. They were the only two I could afford.
We all had it. It
Yeah,
was awful for all of us.
We all had it.
I loved my Heather shimmer. I actually finished a Heather shimmer. I've never finished a lipstick in my life.
And do you know what? I bought the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk because I was drunk, and they know who they're advertising to on the Instagram. And so it was a deal. And we covered, I was drunk. And it is just Heather shimmer. I've been done wrong. Genuinely, I was like, this looks familiar, and it's not nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about it. I feel like I've been like catfished by Charlotte Tilbury. Everyone told me it was nice. So I was
you sort of got the perfume out. There was 80 quid, and it's like, this is Body Shop White Musk.
Yeah. Body Shop Dewberry.
Oh yeah, I was an impulse girl. Impulse temptation, because I thought I was sexy. Photos tell me I was wrong.
I never smelled of anything with it. I didn't think it was. I certainly wasn't getting men sending me bunches of flowers, but I was 13 at the time, so it's a bit weird, isn't it, impulse? Because they're aiming it at young girls who are in having puberty, thinking, what do I do with my body over? I know, impulse. And it's like the female version of Africa, isn't it? There's links. You've got links and impulse.
And the Charlies as well. What Charlie girl are you? I did that quiz so many times in just 17. I wasn't 17. That was like buying porn for girls, that was, wasn't it? When you were buying Bliss in just 17, and all the questions were like, how do I kiss?
Yeah. Hey, have you tried practicing on the back of your hand? Yes, it's not the same.
You'll just know. Now, that's not true, because I've kissed men that still don't know. So that is not true. It's not intuitive. It is a skill.
Yeah. Try teaching us. How much tongue do you use? It's different for everyone. Lucy's Googling it.
No, it was I was looking up, it turns out you can actually find just 17 quizzes. But I think they're nowadays ones, which means it. That's what I just thought. I wonder if there are only just 17 quizzes. But it turns out I'm mainly blues. It was A's or C's. It was that sort of thing. But also,
girls are more knowing now, aren't they? Like, I've got some of my family look older than I look. They're so mature and they're so sexy, and they're doing their A levels. I'm like, oh my god, a good day for me was like a sweater shop jumper was a good day for me. That was my sexy move. Or if I was feeling really saucy, FC UK. Remember the slogans? It was like FC UK me. It was like 15. Illegal. Oh yeah, sneaking that into the house when I bought it when I was a kid. And then hiding it under my sweater shop jumper. I don't know.
Actually, I know rude words.
I was reading.
My friend Becky just popped up in the comments. Actually,
yes.
Hi, Becky.
I love Charlie Red. I was speaking to a little 16-year-old. And the 16-year-old, she went, "Oh, I've got acne," and I was like, "What the fuck is acne?" And it's mask acne.
All right.
Apparently, there's a portmanteau for everything. And
I just had acne.
So I looked at her and I said, "Are you wearing makeup?" And she went, "Yeah." I said, "Well, you're 16 and you've got acne. Guess what happens if you put makeup on?" And then I did this really old woman thing that I can't help but do, where I go, if you want to kill the weeds in your garden, you cover it in a black tarpaulin so there's no air, there's no sunlight. That's how you kill a garden. That's what foundation is to your young skin, right? And she's looking at me like,
I feel like I've been taught something by Lucy. Stop, this is propaganda. I am believing
you can wear foundation if you have acne, and you can. It's making sure that you take it off properly and that you're cleaning your skin and that you're eating properly. That's what gets rid of acne.
Yeah. She's 16. She's going to be sleeping in that shit. And she's probably put cheap stuff in because obviously she's using a little part-time job to pay for it and stuff. She's not like she's going to Debenhams and going to the top shelf. So I said, look, if you're getting acne and you're wearing makeup, it's going to perpetuate it. And she went, yeah, but I once tried not wearing makeup, but I still got acne. And I'm like, you're 16. How long did you try that for? A week?
She's 16. Her hormones are going to kick in. That's why she's going to have acne as well.
And then
my mum always attacked me with high heel. Have you seen? Remember those old school sticks that are just like one color? Like your skin tone does not matter to the high heel, and she will still come at me with them. If she can see a spot on my face from a mile away, and she will bring it up. Oh, I might be feeling self-conscious about it, and we'll be sitting having a coffee. She's like, "You want to get some high heel on that?" The bag comes out, and she's like coming at me with this beige crayon, and it's like, no.
Leave my spots alone.
They are bad for your skin because I used to do a full face of that, and it was,
then she
I was like, this doesn't match my skin. I'll just fill it in. Like,
so then she's blonde. She's my colour blonde, so she's got really faint eyebrows. And she went, "Oh, I was late because I was plucking my eyebrows." And I was like, "Get your hands off your eyebrows! You are 16." And she went, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, as you get older, your eyebrows get finer and less likely to grow back." And she went, "Well, then I won't have any." I was like, "So get your hands off your eyebrows."
I need this girl's email address so I can message her and go, "Do not listen to Lucy."
no, you're like my mum who told me if I shave my legs, they grow back twice as thick. Like these urban legends really cost me in school.
Yeah.
You must not
My sister said to me once, I mean, literally a couple of years ago, so I was able to say, "Well, that's bullshit," that if you dye your hair, it goes grey quicker, which doesn't make any sense. If you dye your hair, it's just the dead stuff that grows out of your hair. It doesn't go grey quicker. Eating sugar makes you go grey quicker.
Is that true, Sarah?
It is true, because I used to have to teach. I used to teach young adults. So if you Google it, it's one of the side effects of eating too much sugar.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't got a single grey hair, and I quite like them because it's like a plain colour palette for my hair. I pay money to have my hair dyed grey, and I've been waiting, excited, because my mum's got pure white hair. It's gorgeous. To have that done at the hairdresser, they won't do it. They like shrink away like Gollum. They're like, "No, it'll fall out." I'm like, "It's my business. Give it to me."
Yeah.
It's like, I'll do it at home.
Yeah, I bet it's quite harsh on your hair. They probably have to bleach it and then put it's quite light. I bet it's like a platinum blonde, isn't it? Yeah. I've got about 6 grey hairs. I don't think I'm going to have that nice white grey. I'm going to end up like a badger, I think.
I've got 1 grey hair, but it's on my chin. It's like pure white. It's one of my 3 chin hairs. There was 1 for a long time, and now there's 2 more. I call it the white dwarf.
Do you mind me asking you, Vix, how old you are? Because so you're another one who looks like you're in your 20s. All right, I can't tell ages anymore.
It's a selfie light, my love. It's not true. I believe my own height now. I kept sighting myself in the mirror when I'm out and about. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like, the zoom
I follow
in
you on Instagram and you don't look like that.
It's a trading standards issue, to be honest. When people come to my gigs, I'm like, I'm sorry. I just need the likes. It's like oxygen.
Have you noticed comedians that they clearly had their headshots taken 20 years ago and they're still using them? Because you turn up and you're like, "Oh, you're a bit different from the poster." Oh my god.
I can think of a lot of male comedians that are falling victim to this right now. And it goes, they've changed their profile picture, and you look at it and you go, "Oh, is it History Week? That Throwback Thursday?"
It just costs money.
Pour in the rosé.
Yeah, what flavour? What's your rosé? Yeah, but which one? Come on.
This is B&M special. This is Flying Kite.
What's the grape though? Work with me, not against me.
This is Discover the Lighter Side. Oh, it's only 58 calories.
Oh, that's good.
You've got to help her out. Is it rosé or is it cider?
Is it like a Cote de Provence? What is it? A Cinsault? No,
this is B&M. B&M. You're lucky if they're describing it as rosé.
They've got their own orchard.
Red alcohol.
Sarah,
pink alcohol normally.
Is it an apple or a grape?
It's a Oh yeah, it's great. It's wine, rosé wine. Although it doesn't say wine on the bottle, so it might not be.
Is it like Hun? Because have you seen Hun in the shops? I've been laughing at Hun. I took a photo and I made fun of it, and then I bought one and it was delicious. They're only like 67 calories each, and they're like a wine-based drink. Lush. I was I was wrong.
This is grape juice. This is described made with imported grape juice. So it's alcoholic grape juice. Oh.
Do you know what else is made?
Yes, BLM.
Do you know what else is imported grape juice? Buckfast.
No, is it? Yeah, but Buckfast is quite nice, isn't it?
Buckfast. The actual Abbey is about 50 minutes away from here.
I quite like it.
They bring tankers of cheap French wine to the Abbey. They pray at it. They pour in 300% caffeine and some herbs, put it in a bottle, and they either sell it to Selfridges or Scotland.
Amazing.
I'm in the wrong business. I need to get into the alcohol business. I need to buy that.
You get yourself down. You get yourself down Socky Hall Street. There's Buckfast in every single off license. You go to Devon. You have to get got it online. We do not sell it round here.
I have to say, this has zero flavour. I don't know if it's because I'm drinking it after the cocktail.
The amaretto sour that's burnt your taste buds off.
I think I need to open the cider now just to see if I have taste buds. They have been burned off.
Police! Is that you in London with your crime rate?
It is. I live in Tower Hamlets. It's up and coming.
Oh,
up and coming. Yeah, it's you have to run a gauntlet coming back from the station because I live right by the station, but still somehow I'm often spoken to by somebody. I'm like really weird stuff. It's like it's not going to be. I don't want to bash men, but this is a particularly bad street for men walking just slightly too close to me to freak me out. And they've got no dangerous intentions, but they're just trying to scare me. Like a guy went so slow because you just drop back, don't you? When there's someone a little bit too close, you either speed up if you think you can, or you drop back so they can overtake you. Everybody feels safe. And once a cyclist was so slow behind me, he nearly fell off his bike because I started to go so slow. And there was like a little bit of a skirmish behind me. And I was like, to match my pace, you've nearly fallen off your bike and you've kind of lost the right to intimidate me now because I think you're stupid. But there's
the right to intimidate me.
Yeah, it's like, you're an idiot. That's not how bikes work. Yeah. But yeah. But yeah, I also am a victim of when people come up to me with a sob story. I'd just rather give them any money I've got on me than live through that conversation with them. So it's like, oh, I don't care, and like, I'm not going to use the money for drugs. I'm like, I just go to sleep home. I just want to get home safely. Like that one particular night, a guy on the train again. Women are probably just, there are women that do this as well. So on my own in the carriage on the train. Living my best life, watching RuPaul's Drag Race. There was hardly anyone on the train because it was just after lockdown and no one was traveling. And the trouble with watching RuPaul's Drag Race is they do a lot of zoom ins on crotches because they want to demonstrate a tight tuck. But I can see why someone would be confused watching me watching that on public transport. But a guy got on the train and went up and down a carriage, and it was like, oh no. The first time he went past me, I was like, nah, don't worry, it's fine. Don't be paranoid, Vix. Not everyone wants to murder you. And then he came back down the carriage, and I was like, oh, it's not good, is it? And then he came down a third time, and then he sat next to me. Yay! But I had my headphones on, so I thought it's gonna be fine. Maybe he's just minding his business. Hey, hello. I was like, just pretend you can't hear it. And then he waved his hand in front of my face. We love that, don't we? Lovely. And so I took one headphone out, which was like, you've got one sentence, basically. The one headphone move. It's like, hello, can I ask you a question? I was like, you already did. Because, I've done comedy for a while. Anything for a laugh, really, innit? I was like, you already did. And he's like, what would you say if I offered to massage your feet?
I'd say no. F
Yeah,
off.
and I was like, that would be a hard no from me. And he's like, well, what? He's like, why is it a hard no though? I was like, why you touch my feet? And yeah, I ended up stuck in a conversation with him for like 15 minutes on this train, doing that thing that you do when you're a woman on your own with a man, where you don't want them to be encouraged, but you don't want them to be angry. So trying to ride that line of like polite interest. It was really stressful. And he genuinely seemed to think we were having a nice time. So when we got off the train, he was like, oh, do you know what? Right, again, men. Not all men, obviously, but this man, he was like, do you know what? Most women just want to get in my pants. It's really nice to talk to an intellectual woman that just wants to talk. And I was like, my dude.
Right. What an absolute
villain. So the thing is, I was chatting to you because I wanted you to feel safe because you're a woman on your own on the tube. And I was like, well, let me educate you. If you see a woman on their own on the tube, unless they've been harassed by another man, sit as far away as you can. Like, genuinely, that is the best thing to do. Like, sit as far away as you can. Don't offer foot massages. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking, I hope my mum puts a decent picture of me on the news when I'm murdered. And he was thinking, we're having a lovely chat. And I was like,
it's mad, isn't it? Men just
doing it
on themselves to just be like, oh, I know what this situation needs, and I'm the one to deal with it. One time on the train, there was this one. Sorry, there was this one guy, right? It was late night, 11 p.m. on my own in a carriage, and this one really old guy, out of the whole carriage he could have sat, and he sat next to me. And I turned around and went, "Why are you sitting next to me? Go and sit somewhere else." And he went, "Oh, I thought we'd have a chat." I said, "No, go and sit somewhere else," and he did. So.
Yes.
I didn't even think that was a dangerous thing to do. I was just like, no, I'm not interested. Go away. Because when I was 16, I was queuing in a bank, and an old man with a cane behind me put his cane up between my legs, and I turned round and gave him the Paddington Bear hard stare.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I was 16. And ever since then...
I wish we were friends when we were 16. I needed someone like you.
Ever since then, I mean, I should have told him off. And since then, I am a bit defensive, as I'm sure Lucy could testify. I can be a bit feisty, a bit defensive, but I'd rather be that than have to deal with the fucking bullshit, frankly.
See, I've seen
women do it as well, though. Like I've seen like middle-aged women, you know, like your drunk auntie, divorcee auntie types at a wedding. I've seen them be just as bad to like young, cute men that I've been out with, where they come up on a hen party and they start like grabbing at you. So it isn't just men, it's just people with no idea of what an appropriate boundary is.
Yes.
So yeah, in my defense, all people can be assholes.
Yeah.
According to all. I'm no good when I'm getting like when it's a man on their own propositioning my date, like endangering me. But if we were sat at a table and someone came to do some sort of hawking, we're like, you know, do you want to buy this, or do you want to buy roses, or, you know, do you want these watches or anything like that? I am your guard dog. I just literally get the fuck away from us. Like I've been with people and they're like, oh, well, actually, maybe all they want is attention and no. Stop it, cut it off right from the sentence. Do you? No.
I'm feeling so empowered right now. I'm so empowered by this conversation. I'm like, offer me a rose, bitch.
But it's like, why can't they just, you know, because I was at a gig kind of backstage with two female comedians, and this fucking guy just turned up and was just like, oh, I've got some jokes for you. Now the other two were being polite, and I was just giving him F off vibes, and very much like, yeah, thanks anyway, thank you, thanks. But he really didn't get the hint. And I had to go, well, if you want to, we're getting ready for our gig now. So if you wouldn't, you know, if you do want to sit over there and enjoy the gig with your friends. But he was like so keen to be like, no, you need to hear my jokes. You need to hear.
So not even a comedian, just a guy with an opinion.
No, a member of the audience. They're the worst, aren't they? The ones that are like, I want to do comedy, but I haven't got the guts to just go up there on stage and do it. So I'll perform my comedy to the comedians before they're about to go on stage. It's like,
I feel like I was that person for a little while though with pro comedians, where I'd be like in chats with them if I ever came across them. Just like, because I was lucky enough that happened to me a few times, because I used to write for Standard Issue magazine, so I used to go to the panel shows, and I did find myself sort of accidentally auditioning, but not in a critical way to them, but just like, oh, just throw in this little anecdote I've been working on at home. Like, so yeah, I've done that myself. I feel very seen, Sarah. I feel very seen.
I'm sure if you got the vibe of F off, you would sense that and go, oh, maybe not now. Whereas this guy was just not getting any of it at all. But I've never been afraid to just turn and say, oh, thanks, but can you just bugger off now? Whereas other people seem to just put up with it. I'm like, life's too short.
But what I think we've learned from this is if you find yourself in an awkward situation with somebody that clearly looks scared or disappointed or annoyed, offer to massage their feet.
Yeah, honestly, we're married now.
And dear reader, I married him.
I mean, I'm not in love with him, but we do love each other.
I've never seen attention like it. Like, it's
for free.
I mean, that must have worked at least once for him though, because he didn't just evolve that on the spot for me, did he? It's a numbers game. Yeah. Someone must have liked this at some point in his life, and he was like, this is what the ladies like.
I really hope that it was a woman that does care home or like deep cleaning in a hospital, that's done a 20-hour shift.
Yeah.
And he comes up to them and goes, hey baby, can I massage your feet? They're taking their socks and their DVT socks off, going, go on then. Oh, get deep in.
Get into the corn.
What's the sauce level at the kitchen sink before I table this next thing? Like, are we all right? What's the saucy level of our audience?
Go for it.
All right.
They don't have complaints yet, so.
Because I once did a public service for all women, because I was with a guy very, very briefly, who kept his socks on in bed, but also had this weird hula hips move that he liked. And it was just atrocious. But his face suggested at the time that he thought, oh my God, this is going to blow her mind. I had to stop him and tell him, like, you must stop. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not into it. But he was so pleased with himself, and he was like, other women love it. And I was like, I mean, yeah,
that's something that gets me all the time. Whenever I've complained about something that I haven't liked, usually I remember when in a couple of jobs I've had where I've I'm not being paid enough, or I don't like this way I'm being treated. Don't you always love being told that other people that aren't you like this, and therefore you should like it too?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm working off majority rule. I didn't realize that's how I now have sex.
Yeah. What numbers were surveyed to come to the conclusion that all other women love this? Like, I can say that he's not my close.
How many people did you poll? And no pun intended.
100 people off the street, and 70% said.
Definitely not many more than once. Like.
But I reckon what happened there is the first person he did that to, you know, when you're like, oh, I just want to move this along, so I'll just say this is amazing. It's too good, if anything. Can we wrap this up now? And he's gone, oh my God, I better whip this out for the special occasions because it is that good. That's what happened there. So
no, what it is he did it to somebody and he said, what do you think? And they said, well, I've never had that happen before. And what they did is they took
there aren't words.
What they did is they took that as a compliment and not because the woman couldn't be bad and say, never do that to anyone else. They went,
apparently they can, because that is exactly what I did. Maybe it was like sex position of the week in like More magazine. Do you remember those that were absolutely batshit crazy? It's like, yeah.
Chris Moyles,
that's how you got your sex education.
Yeah,
right.
And Jilly Cooper novels.
the position of the more position column. And she ran out of position. So it went from position of the week to position of the month. And most of the times they just had to make them up, because ultimately there is a finite number of possibilities. You can't just call it like the alpine snowboarder who's carrying a wheelbarrow with them at the time. There's only so many.
The reverse cowgirl, but somehow there's a toe involved.
with almond milk.
I've lowered the tone.
It's fine. Well, Shani
had
talked
a
about
guy-
BDSM when she was on, Shani Thomas, so it's fine.
I remember I was flirting with a guy, okay, and he was in his mid-40s, and we were flirting, and then we went in for a bit of a snog.
How old were you in this equation, by the way? He's mid-40s. Set the scene.
You were over 16.
Consent. I'm consent. I'm probably between two.
I was at the bus stop in school uniform. This guy
I was like, Dad.
Uncle Jim, I'm trying to go to school.
Father shenanigan.
Good Lord. Anyway, Lucy, you were saying.
He must have been about 10, 15 years older than me. So he was doing well. And went in for the kiss. And as our lips met, he thrust a very pointy and hard tongue right into my mouth. Started rubbing the top of my mouth, the palate. Started just rubbing it around, right? And I remember sort of thinking, this isn't happening, because this guy's in his mid-40s. I'm not his first kiss.
He was clearly a virgin.
And he must be recognizing the fact I've frozen and I'm now doing this face. Looking for help.
No. Did you feed back?
I think I just fucked off.
Feed his Let me just feed that back to you.
The reason why I couldn't
again, I will bite it off.
That's the name of your sex tape. If it was a 16-year-old, I understand. It's the worst kiss without a doubt. A 45-year-old man who thinks licking the top of the mouth is a move. Like,
that's really
I ever had. I was about 16, 17, and I was going out with a guy that worked at Blockbusters. Yes. And yes. And I'd been going down to Blockbusters in the Uplands for months because I really fancied it. It was my Friday night thing. Go down, look at the films while gawking at the guy at the counter and being like, oh, he's so cute. Buy my Haagen-Dazs and my crisps.
He let her return the videos. Wow.
And then we actually went out with each other and he kissed me, right? And I think that's what it was. It was awful because he went like, I'm not kidding, around my mouth and my nose. And I don't know what, and licking all of that area. And that for him, it was, I was just like, oh no. This is
Sarah.
So bad. And there was just no telling him, this is awful. Around the whole, I was like literally under chin, nose. Like surely you would feel someone's nose in your mouth and think I've gone too far. Surely.
Maybe some other women love that, Sarah.
Yeah.
Most women like that.
Other women have kissed like this. I bloody love this. And I fancied him so much. I carried on going out with him.
I remember I was in my
didn't like me.
I was in my early 20s and I got off with an 18-year-old and I thought, oh, cougar. And I got off with him and I was thinking, oh, this is a bit naughty. And 2 seconds into kissing him, do you know what I realised? He'd just eaten beef McCoys.
No.
The McCoys were lush, but not the beef.
But
not by someone else either. Like,
Yeah.
McCoys really have to himself.
I was feeling peckish, but now I've had a bit of beef McCoy. I'm feeling better.
So, I'm getting very strong vibes of our Sean Harry's chat. I'm going to say at this point. So Vix, do you want to tell us about Comedy Arcade?
It's a lot like this, actually.
It's the kitchen sink interview style. I think it's our interview style. Oh, by the way, before we finish,
something about your stuff.
Before we wrap up, that's about your stuff.
But yeah, the concept of it is I've got a bingo ball full of like 30 deliberately broad random topics, and I draw them, and 3 comedians chip in with their best story or anecdote, and I decide based on nothing at all which one I like the best. So, but frequently it's something really innocent, and it does get smutty really quickly. So it's just like this. Like, but yeah,
it's beautiful to see. I was a fan of Comedy Roulette, and it's beautiful to see the evolution.
Yeah, it was a Twitch show that got over 20 views on a good day. I mean, I don't want to show off.
Now then, don't go. Lucy will tell you off. She tells me off all the time for mentioning how many. That's amazing for Twitch, I think.
Yeah, I thought that as well until I went to other people's Twitches and I was like, no, it's just all my friends.
Oh, no, don't other people's. You stay focused on your own journey, Vix.
Oh, okay, I like it. But yes, tomorrow's the 2nd episode, so we've got Shapi Kosandi, Suze Kempner, and my friend from the circuit, Elida Arden, who is I'm excited that I get to be like, I knew her before everybody else did. So yes, I'm really looking forward to it. The first episode has gone down well. This one, I listened back to it earlier just to check that I was happy to put it up, because I've overshared on it like constantly, and I really drag Ben Adams from A1 to hell, like at varying points over the 40 minutes. Like, he's not done anything to me to really deserve it, but I had some kind of weird Ben Adams shaped Tourette's, or it's just like, so I could edit it out, but it would ruin it and there wouldn't be enough material. That's how much I dragged poor Ben Adams from A1. So that's something to look forward to tomorrow.
Well, I mean, in this interview and your podcast, this is the most traction that Ben Adams from A1 has had in the last 20 years. So, if anything, you're helping him.
We covered that on the podcast as well. Again, I'm dragging him again. I can't stop.
Leave him alone, Vic. Now it's becoming an issue.
It's becoming weird. Mark was always my favourite. Mark was the thinking woman's crumpet in A1. Follows me on Instagram. It was very exciting that day. I messaged him. I was like, 14-year-old me is really excited. 36-year-old me was really excited. That's a lie.
Now, I'm an old fart, so I'm not sure what A1 is.
It's for old farts, I'm afraid, Sarah.
No. Right, let me Google it. Right, what was A1?
They covered Take On Me. That was their big hit.
Yes.
And they had a dance routine.
Did they blame it on the sunshine?
They did not blame it on the boogie. They went quite that far back. Well, maybe they did, but not to my knowledge.
No, because there was a 3-boy boy band that did a cover of "Blame It on the Sunshine" because they had flannel shirts wrapped around. I think it was 911. That's right. You got me right there.
Lee Brennan had New Junior. The song "The Journey" was about that.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah.
Same Old Brand New You, still a banger.
Which one is Ben?
The one with the curtains.
Oh,
narrow it down, love. It was the 90s.
My first boyfriend had the best curtains going.
Did he? Did he close them before he before he licked your eyes and nose? No.
Yes.
Covered
He was very clean. He had lovely, clean, curtainy hair. Oh, the 90s was great. I love that song "Jump Around" because you could literally jump around the dance floor. And the minute that song came on, everyone, all the boys went crazy. We just go jump around, jump up, get down. Everybody go. Everybody go. Right, we're not going to get done by YouTube, are we, for that?
I think it's so far away from the original. Quite safe.
I tell you what, though, Vix, if you do any clips of anything, do not do BBC. They will whip it off any kind of internet as soon as they look at you, don't they? Bloody BBC. Yeah. So
I've got a Radio 5 live interview still on my YouTube that they haven't noticed yet.
But was that with you? Or was that someone else's?
Shh.
No, I haven't. Why did I say that?
Can't hear it. It was Kyle. Kyle Davis Comedy says, "Jump Around" was our generation's Come On Eileen. And do you know what? Come On Eileen. Maybe it was my brain.
Come On Eileen is our generation's Come On Eileen.
Yeah. This is so rude though. And you're like, why is everyone coming on Eileen? Is this like sex?
Stop it. Yeah.
It's so odd. Is Eileen consensual on this? Come on, guys.
I don't think it's literal, is it?
No, it's about come on.
Come on, Eileen, not come on, Eileen.
No, but it sounds
shut your eyes, Eileen.
It's not aim for the boobs, Eileen. No, right. I'm
good for your skin, men told me.
I really hope none of my family are watching tonight. By the way.
Same. What a night! What a night we've had. It's been great. I'm having a lovely time.
It's the sequence. The sequence have gone straight to our head.
I know. Whee! I think it might
have gone straight to my head.
I can't even blame this because it's like 5%. It's rubbish. It's like a WKD Blue.
Well, I've had about 3 of them at 5%. Right. Is there any? Oh no, I've done terrible into it. Right now. Is there anything else now? What's your next thing, Vic? Anything else now? Everyone's talking.
What else am I doing? I do live shows in Limehouse in London every 2 weeks. So the next one, I've just confirmed Jade Adams as my headliner. I'm really excited. That's on 3rd of November. I'm launching an open mic with my friend Jess Ashkenazi in Islington on the 2nd of November. That's going to be a promotional nightmare. My Instagram's not worth looking at that week. So it's just going to be me plugging away. The 18th, I've got my big show. The most dream lineup I could ever have booked. I went out and I messaged loads of my favorite comedians, like a lot of women, and said, "Do you want to headline these shows? Here are the dates." And like 4 of my favorite female comedians came back and could do the same date, so I've just booked them all.
Oh, wow.
I've got Jen
I hope you're going to call it Ladies' Night and to put a bow on the fucking eye.
It's all women. It's all women. Jen Brister, Shapi Kosandy, Suze Kempner, Josie Long, Helen Bauer, and my friend Colleen Cheatham Gerald.
So are you going to call it a comedy night, or are you going to call it a ladies' comedy night? Are you going to break the trend?
They're just funny people. They're just funny women. So like we don't need to gender it, because as soon as you put woman on something, men don't want to come to it. Like It's the same with like women in business conferences, and you're just looking at other women in business and we're like, something's got to change. It's like, we all agree.
Yeah. Why are you telling us? We know.
Just don't waste them all our time. But that's going to be live streamed as well, because I'm doing it at the Cavendish in Stockwell, because their setup is insane and their stage is so kitsch. I fell in love with it on Saturday night. So that's the super show. I think I'll have to retire from comedy after that. It's the best show I've ever been on.
I love your neon and your flamingo. I've seen all that and I'm like, this lady is stealing my style. I love it. I love the vintage. I love the look of it all and everything. So cool.
You need to come and do it.
Yes, please.
I'm recording. No, ladies.
Out of Wales.
No, I'm coming back at Christmas to record 5 episodes of Arcade, because I specifically want Welsh comedians on it. So I'm gonna book a studio in Cardiff, and I'm gonna do 5 episodes back to back, all Welsh. Or Welsh
I would absolutely love to, Vix. Yes, please.
And as long as we're in tier 2,
How
it
Welsh?
works, so you'll be allowed to
Welsh?
come.
Well, in Wales, we don't have the bloody tiers. They're just like literally going, we're shutting
you
you
have
down.
tiers in Wales.
We got very many tiers in Wales.
Yeah, you're crying all the time. But no, it's going to be Wales. It's going to be Wales and West because I need an excuse to get Louise on as well because I absolutely love her. So it's going to be Wales and West. So Lucy, you
Vix,
would still qualify.
I was going to say, how Welsh do you want it to be? Do you want it to be Sian Phillips in front of the camera or Sian Phillips behind the camera? Sorry.
I mean, I'd take either.
Sian Phillips, the weather girl. My favourite thing with Sian Phillips, the weather girl, is when you see it interviews, oh, she's as Welsh as you could cut, and then you see her doing the weather and she goes, and it's raining in Scotland and England. You're like, which one are you? Who are you?
It's like Catherine Zeta-Jones accepting an Oscar, isn't it? It's like one sentence she's full on Californian, and the next sentence she's like, oh yeah. It's like, all right, Catherine.
It depends who you're with, though. It depends who you're with. Because I mirror people's accents back to them by accident quite often because I just like to have a go. So,
where are you from originally, Vix?
I'm from Cardiff.
Oh yes, I knew you were Welsh, but I didn't know which bit.
Well, my dad's London, like Welwyn City, so my accent it sounds quite Bristol every now and again. So it's nice. People can't work me out, and I like that. I'm enigmatic.
I like Welwyn Garden City. I've delivered to bookers there many times. The RDC, quite big turning circle.
I only ever went to my grandma's house, so I didn't really experience the town. My mum asked for
when I saw the sign Welwyn Garden City,
I didn't know what she was talking about. That's all I know about Welwyn Garden City.
When I sort of turned off Welwyn Garden Cities, I expected bunting and hanging baskets, some sort of like maybe secret garden of Babylon, and I was just standing in an RDC full of other trucks going, well, I don't know what they've done. Yeah. This isn't going to win Best in Bloom.
Yeah.
Right, good. You know what? I need the loo. And also, when Vix, are you going to join in with our makeup?
Yes.
With our.
I don't need to be on the screen. If you want to, just be you guys. That's fine.
No. Very happy for you. Vix, you and I have a chat, Sarah. Go and chat.
I've had too much alcohol. Sorry, I'm going to mute this so you don't have to hear my flush.
Don't break the seal.
Don't engage with her. She'll come back. She does it.
So how was your day at work today, Lucy? Like, how was it fun? I followed it over social, but what's it like?
It was really fun, and because I used to drive Arctics, and now I'm driving tippers. It's like there's an amazing video. If you go on YouTube and Google "little girl Volvo tippers," they actually connected a little remote control thing, and they gave it to a 4-year-old little girl, and she could control the actual tipper, and she drove it through this massive rally course, and that's how I feel when I drive a tipper truck. I'm like Tank Girl in high vis. And my brother was like, "Wait, you're gonna tell them about what you used to do, like, you know, with all the Arctics and all the rock and roll?" And I went, "No, I'll wait for one of the old boys to tell me that I shouldn't be here."
You're like a not Welsh Nessa.
Well, I am from Caerphilly, so I am Welsh. You just
defected. It's okay. So yeah, I am.
I just haven't got a strong accent. But like, you know, when you were saying about picking them up, I used to work in British Gas in Cardiff for ages. And you can have a phone call that lasts like 40 minutes trying to fix everything. In half that time, I will pick your accent up. just because of exposure to it. So I started, hello, British Gas, Lucy speaking, how can I help you? And in the end, I'm speaking Liverpudlian, Scottish, whatever it is you've got. And it sounds like such a piss take, but it's just, if you've got a really strong accent, I just pick it up. It's like I've got a very bland accent.
I love that you worked in British Gas. I have a theory that everybody's worked in either Admiral or British Gas if you lived in Cardiff. It's just a rite of passage. They won't let you out until you've done it's like public service, like conscription. You have to work in one of those call centers or you can't come out. Like it's genuinely.
Oh, I mean, it was a triple whammy. My mother worked in new business, my brother was in business management, and I was in home movers.
Me and Reese both worked at Admiral. I worked in claims, he works in sales, so that's and my brother-in-law worked there as well in renewals, and most of my friends.
I think there was a peak time to do it. I think sort of late 90s, early noughties, where you would go to the Scrum Bar or the sports bar and you'd go for £1 a pint.
Yeah.
And it would just be just a quick pint after work. And the next thing you know, you're going to work dressed in your same clothes because you slept on Alexia's sofa.
Yeah, you can stick in a bin on the way.
You've got your return ticket for the train, but you've roached it for a fag at 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh, I kind of miss it.
Yeah, those team meetings in the morning, like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and everyone's standing there phasing off going, I can taste Sambuca.
Oh, I can't drink Buca because of literally that.
Because of working hard during the 90s.
Blaming Sambucas in the square. Oh, yeah.
I really miss going out on the lash because I can't do it anymore, and B, everyone my age is married with kids, or they're going, I can't do that anymore, I'm not doing it. But I tell you what, when we're allowed out, I really want to go. Do you guys want to go and get hammered?
Yeah. Well, we can go to the Philharmonic because that is where people like us go to pretend that no time has passed. Like, genuinely, I was in the Philly and like people were like off their tit drunk at like 7 in the evening. I was like, they were on the dance floor, they were bumping and grinding. I was like, yes, I want this for me. Yes, let's do
Where's
it.
that?
The Philharmonic on St. Mary Street. Yeah, it's back open.
Like
and
the Taurus Steak Bar, round the corner from the Prince of Wales, in Eyeline, Chippy Lane.
I used to live on Chippy Lane.
Oh my!
I used to live there.
Oh my god! Did you ever sleep? Because it's loud no matter what time of the night it is.
Oh, we got told by the estate agent in the daytime when we viewed it, it's double glazing, you can't hear anything. We said to each other, we're like, yeah, he's right, you can't hear anything. Because it was the daytime. And it took us 2 weeks of like just turning the telly up without saying anything to admit that we'd made it terrible.
Oh no. How long were you tied into that one for?
A year. And it was a long year. And everyone knew where we lived. So we'd always have people wanting to come and like stay in the house. They'd be like, oh, you live in town. We'll come and sleep on your sofa. It's like, but I don't want you.
I like my house.
I remember I was in the Philharmonic with my mate. She fancied this guy, and he was with a guy that was not attractive. So I was playing wingman, but there was I was not going to be wingman and get off with the best mate for her. I was there to make the magic happen. And I thought, I feel playful, so I'm going to pretend I'm new to town. I don't know anyone. I thought, fuck it, I'm not venturing anything here. Let's play some games. At which point, the bouncers picked me up and carried me like RuPaul to the bar where the barman said, gold tequila, Lucy. And I was like,
this sounds like dreams I've had. How did this happen to you? I'm into it, but like.
You go there every week.
I did. I wasn't treated to that experience. Don't think you're not a VIP, Lucy, because you are.
You know how you've got the Angel Hotel and then you've got the Angel Bar underneath, which is such a difference from what's up there to what's down there. It really is heaven and hell. And very the bar, the security, the security guard would come around and just do an age check and go, how long till you girls are 18? And we were like, oh, Debbie's 18. Like, oh, one of you will do. I miss the 90s.
I had a done an NUS card because they let you fill it out yourself because you just put the little sticky thing over the front. And I'm like,
losers.
Well, I used to go to Cinderella's down Mumbles in Swansea, and the bouncers would just say, what's your date of birth? And we'd be walking, 24th of 2nd, 1968. And then we'd walk in literally a yard ahead of them, be like, yes. I mean, oh yeah. This is
I'm moving to the fridge. Hang on. Here we go. Hi. There's the bar.
Wow.
We're staying at Vix's house. We're moving into the wine cellar. Look at that.
It must be the evening.
I didn't know you could get prettier, Vic.
There we go. Come closer. Right,
I'm doing Halloween makeup.
Oh,
you're not.
Okay.
I'm up for it.
Yeah.
Right. Have you got black? This is a very simple look. It's a cat look. So you need black eyeliner.
Okay, right.
I've got that coffee shimmer one that will look black.
Okay, and you need to put your hair up.
Look black.
Well, while Vix is doing that, I'm just going to put my hair up.
Hair up.
If you haven't got any
kind of hair clip near me,
don't worry. But remember this for next week. You need two because these are going to be your ears.
Okay.
Right. You didn't prep me on my hair.
I know. Sorry, but this is for next week now. You've got to have ears, okay? My hair's a bit long.
Does it help that I have cat ears? I do have an array of ears. I don't wear makeup, but I've got.
There's no need to show off, Lucy.
This isn't cat ears either, is it? This is more Princess Leia than cat ears, isn't it? Let's face it.
Hang on, let me see what I've got in stock. No,
couldn't pop upstairs if people got ears. It might.
I tell you what, Twitch people will be bloody loving this because all the girls are all cracking on with makeup.
How do your buns look so good? Said the actress.
Didn't know you could see my buns from there, Lucy. Especially down. Right, I'm putting a bit of red lippy on because you got to be a sexy cat for Halloween, or at least have a brighter colour than your natural lip colour.
Oh yeah, all women's costumes are sexy, aren't they? By virtue of the fact that we're women.
Yes. It's the law. We have to have sexy stuff for Halloween.
Sexy pumpkins.
Fan of the Lucy show, they'll know that I keep my makeup with my camera stand because it's the only time I use it. Right, okay, so I've got a tint rose. That's as dark as I can go.
And everyone at home, you can follow along and send us pictures of your cat faces to the kitchen sink. If my
truck driving friends are watching, this will be the first time they've seen me wear makeup.
Right, now, normally I would use a crayon, pencil black, but I can't find my pencil sharpener. It's dried out, so I'm using liquid. So this might be horrendous. Yeah.
Oh, whoa. No, you're too hot for me, Mama.
My ears have gone well wrong.
Hold on 1 second. You're getting heckled from Ray. I love this. Ray's on my side. Ray is like, what have we said? Come on. All right, bare ears will do. Lucy, all that work Sarah's done on her hair clearly paid off. I've got Pudsey. That'll do for a start for 10.
That'll do. Because today's the tutorial.
There we go. That looks less childlike.
Earlier on, Lucy was like, "I'm ready for the tutorial." I'm like, "What are you talking about? What are you doing?" I didn't have a clue.
This was all I needed. This is how much I know about makeup. I thought this was it.
Nope. Right, so what we're going to do is draw in the front of your nose. Just imagine that guy earlier. He's got his mouth all over there and in front of that little bit of your nose. And you're going to draw like a triangle.
Are you upside down triangle? Or?
Yes.
Where? Please, I said talk slowly. Oh, on your nose. Oh, for fuck's sake.
On your nose.
Because it's backwards for me. I'm having a shock here. Hang on.
It's like an upside down triangle, right?
Yeah, I thought you were going to teach me how to use fucking eyeliner. I didn't know I was going to let me fucking nose in. This better come off before work tomorrow. I know, but if this doesn't come off, I've got to deliver it to the quarry at 6:30 in the morning.
As long as you're not using a permanent marker, this is fine. Right.
Right.
I think I'm going to make a bigger,
like a triangle like that. Okay.
This is so cute, right?
I think mine's wonky.
Mine is definitely wonky because that'll be an alcohol, definitely alcoholic. Right, so you got your little cute little cat nose, and then
where's all my catting's gone then?
A little line down there in your crease. Oh shit, too much. Right, like that. And then you have little. Hang on, I need more.
My cat looks like it was adopted from the fucking Blue Cross.
That's big on Instagram, though. Ugly cats are big business.
For £5 a week, you can take this one home.
If I was a cat at the Blue Cross, they'd be like, "Have it for free. Anything, we'll pay you." Right, and then you have in the back of in the bit above your lips, you put little dots. Right, you can have 3 there and 3 there, like that. Right, and then on your cheeks, you do the whiskers. Just do like 3 little whiskers like that.
I've done my dots differently to you. All right, hang on. Let's be equal. My OCD needs them equal. Like I've got OCD.
That's it. Vix has got it.
Oh, Vix has got it. Yeah. I've become very jealous right now. I may lash out.
Just like a cat. You're really this is method acting. This is some Daniel Day-Lewis shit.
I'm fucking Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm Daniel Day-Lewis. I can start licking my arsehole any second. Right, hang on.
Your left arse cheek. Right. And I reckon I'm going to make the top lip, my top lip, I'm going to make it black as well, because I think that would probably work better. I should have double checked on YouTube, but
let's give it a go. What's going to happen?
Give it a go.
Are we doing this? Right, 1 second, Ray's chipped in. I'm glad you're all sober. Imagine doing this squiffy.
I wouldn't call us sober.
That's it.
So you filling it in, or you?
Yeah, just the top lip.
What's the next bit? Hang on. I've only just finished the whiskers. Catch me up.
Right. Top lip to make that black as well. Fill that in, just the top lip.
Oh, I've got an itch now. Itch before you put the black. I remember. What's the one? If you go at the top of up to the bandstand where British Gas was, go up to the bandstand and then keep going, and there was a sports bar, and then across from that was a nightclub that set on fire.
Oh yeah.
I went there with my friend Sandra Curtis, and it was Rocky Horror Night. She was all in white, I was all in black, and you could have every man gone off with because I had black lipstick, and they all looked like they'd been getting off with a minor, which they were because I was 17.
That's all right for Britain, though. Right, I've made my nose a bit bigger, and I think I've made it worse now. But so that's basically it. You have an upside down triangle. You do your little creases, you've got your little dots, and you have your whiskers, and there you've got a cat.
Singles.
There we go. And I have, I used to have, I don't know where they are now, but I had like a hairband from New Look that had little metal cat ears.
And me, I've got one of those somewhere. I thought they were in my little basket, but now I've got everything but.
Oh yeah.
In my Zoom dressing up basket.
I got my Charlotte Tilbury. Oh my god, your cat face is so realistic, Lucy.
Oh. Hey man, there are metal cat ears on the top of that. There are definitely cat ears up there.
I've got clips as well from Claire's Accessories. But I don't know where they are.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love it. I love a bloody cat. Oh, I was going to say, I'm going to pop to town on Saturday, but I can't because everything's bloody shut, isn't it?
Because you lot can't be trusted. Where am I now? I've done the lip.
Ooh.
Yeah, where am I now?
Black top lip, yeah.
Done my top lip. Done the top lip.
We're done.
Now where am I doing?
now you can just add extra gorgeous makeup everywhere else. Like I've got the Charlotte Tilbury glitter.
She fancy.
You said to have an eyeliner, and I thought, so we're learning how to do eyes. The only part of my face I haven't touched are my fucking eyes.
Right, I could teach you how to do eyes now. Right, hold on. Let me get my mirror out. Right. You know, you can do a cat eye. It's just like a triangle on the outer edge of your eyelid.
Right, because we've got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are also making a podcast here. So let's just take a second to explain what we've done. I've just remembered we're very visual. So to our podcast listeners, we have drawn a little triangle under our nose, like we were looking over a bench. And we sort of over a windowsill and we caught a bit of dust on our nose. So that looks like the cat bit. Then we've done some whiskers to the side, and we've done on our top lip, we've done dots, which look like the sort of whisker pricks. Whisker pricks? I don't know if that's the
whisker pricks.
Whisker pricks.
Right, this looks nice on Zoom. It's horrible in real life.
I think I look cute, but I am 3 cheeks to the wind. I'm going to look this back tomorrow on Facebook on YouTube and be like, what was I doing? It's times like this. I wish I had a stage name.
I've gone too pronounced. Hang on, Sarah, your nose looks different to our nose. You set us up for this.
I haven't. It's the same.
Yeah, there's definitely. You did not give us the right information. I do not feel like
sabotage.
Because I thought, it'll look better with more on it, but it doesn't. It looks better with a little cute little triangle.
This is like when RuPaul's Drag Race, they do the makeovers and they look amazing. The person they're making over looks like shit. It's this again.
Yeah, Charlotte, she's meant to be your sister, not your neighbour.
Oh, sister. I thought you said something else then. And then you can add, like, I've got, I'm one for highlighter. I've got highlighter. Look at this. This is Pacifica. Look. Is that what they do?
Sarah's available for brand collaborations, everybody.
I'd love to be a makeup person on YouTube, but
you'd be great at it. Look at what you've done.
Look, and then you can put highlighter on.
Sorry. Inside Right, I just looked at my mother for some sort of feedback.
Oh, Lucy, let's look at your ears. Oh, everyone looks so cute. I haven't got ears. I look more like a mouse than a cat.
It's good though. It's working for you. It's not how I envision my night going at all. But here we are.
Where's your husband? Is it
looking at me like he doesn't understand what I'm doing?
Maybe
I put 2 dots in my eyes like they do on Drag Race. Did it work?
Ooh, I like it.
I put a
dot
awesome. There.
This is not coming off, is it? Just know it.
I'm gonna be like this with it. I'm gonna go to bed and forget about this. And then tomorrow, when I'm taking my dad down the seafront for and getting an ice cream before the shop shut, he's gonna be like, "What have you done to your face?"
Oh yeah, as I'm leaning through the weighbridge asking for 15 ton of 40mm scalpins, they'll be like, "Lucy, you got something on your face?" And I'm like, "What?"
What?
Give me the chicken. I have to say, can I admit this? This is the first time I've ever done anything like this.
Oh,
and I'm 39.
Oh.
Girls don't play with me like this. I think that what happens if you don't do that? I end up a truck driver.
You say that like it's a bad thing. That's pretty cool.
I know. We've got a new segment to our show, Lucy. How to teaching Lucy how to do makeup.
Yeah, next week I'm teaching her how to reverse an Arctic, and if Steve does the chicken on the fucking right now. Oh, I know this. I know this. Some people might understand this, but when you drive a rigid, you steer your wheel one way to go one way when you go backwards. But with an Arctic, it's the opposite way. And I did that really rookie thing of got in the rigid, went to reverse, and turned my steering wheel the wrong way. No, just me. Okay, but it really annoyed me.
I can't drive. It's like, stop saying rigid.
What do you think, guys? Would you do this for Halloween? Do you think? Is this a new look?
So.
It's really simple, isn't it?
Oh.
Nice, simple, easy to use, and quite cute, I think.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Also,
I feel I should go out now.
Yes.
Get people in the 24-hour shop. Hello.
I'm going to press print screen, so everyone do your best faces. There we go. Print screen. Thank you very much. Promo. Print now.
Yes, definitely.
That's the only bit. Oh, your hair looks really nice that you took it down. I want to take mine down too. Not fair.
Come on.
Keep the ears
Join in.
but
All right.
flow. There we go. Right. And so now we need to review Ghosts from BBC.
I'm going to leave you to that because I will be watching, but I haven't watched it, so it'll just be me doing a Gumba face in the square, like.
Oh, hang on, before you go, so it's on Twitter you are at PRVix. I just want to put that on the chat so that everybody can get their hands on your socials. There we go. Kitchen sink.
Have another go with my hair.
Perfect. There we go. So what day of the week does your comedy arcade come out?
Friday. So the new
Friday.
Tomorrow.
So tomorrow night.
Because it was meant to go out on a Saturday, but I did it on Friday to make sure in case it was processing time. And I was like, oh, I'll do it now. But I didn't have to tell anybody it's there. And then as soon as I did it, I was so excited. I told everyone. I was like, yeah, it's launched, yeah. So now
Which is perfect timing because in Wales we are literally stuck in our houses.
Good. Tell all your friends.
Yes.
Vix, you are one of my. I've been waiting to get you on this for ages, but I cannot let you go without asking you the same thing. So first of all, is there anything that you haven't mentioned that you would like to get out to all our viewers and listeners?
Nope. So just watch more of these shows because they're really fun. Yeah.
Okay. And second of all, do you have anybody that you can recommend for us to get in touch with for coming on the kitchen sink? Can you think of anybody that would be appropriate? Which it's the rinse our guests section, so everybody gets asked this from week one onwards. So yeah,
or anyone you don't like.
Yeah. Oh, definitely Suze Kempner. She's amazing. She's a proper triple threat comedian, singer, like musician. She's amazing. I would recommend her. She'd probably get involved in this as well because I've had her on comedy roulette before it was arcade. It was roulette. So yeah, she's my hot pick. She's really fun.
Thank you very much. You have been an absolute ruddy delight to have on. I knew that you were going to be fun. I had no idea. I thought we were having an eyeliner fucking tutorial, and now I look like a fucking cat.
I didn't have any plans for this. You look great.
Thank you. I've improved everyone's life.
You have. You genuinely have.
So, when you do the Welsh gigs, please put Sarah and I down for it. And then if you're doing a recording of the arcade, double book us, love. Get us on twice.
Oh, everybody had to do twice because I wanted to get value. So yeah, every guest I've had is on twice.
Ring out the singers. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vix.
For having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thanks for coming on early and for taking part.
Yeah.
It's been so much fun.
Right. So I'll keep watching. I'll just be over here.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Thank you, Vix. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Oh.
I love Vix. She's so lovely and cute and funny. And I just, you don't really get a sense that this person's just going to be on everything. It's like in a year's time, she's going to achieve everything she wants to do. And it's like, oh, and she's so nice. Well, anyway.
Vix and I connected only on
cute,
oh, we got one.
You're so cute.
Your nose is cuter than my nose.
I don't think it is, but all you have to do is put a little bit more on the top line, and if you wanted to, you can make it into a little bit of a heart.
1 second. I have to lean down to do this because
okay. So the talk to the vicar.
Because I'm inept. Right, 1 second.
Oh, I love those little ears. They're so cute. I know I haven't got any ears, even to hand. It doesn't half make a difference. And then it's just like a really simple costume.
The festivals that I used to work at, we've got sort of a family vibe. Crew is family. That's the festival with family. And when I stopped being there full time, I used to just sort of come in as a veteran. And I would do a little bit of work with I don't know, like putting up scaffolding with the fencing and stuff with people. And then I would be in charge of costumes because every Sunday night there'd be a costume. The whole festival had a theme. And I would be making the costumes and stuff. And I remember talking to the site manager and he was like, right, Lucy, so how are you doing with all your tasks? I was going here, there and everywhere. And I was like, right, the only thing I haven't got are the cat ears. And he was like, right, well, you need to focus. He's doing. I'm like, no. This year I was like on site runner for Beautiful Days, and it was Nick, and he was just like, you've got all your tasks achieved, brilliant, but what about the cat ears? And and then he personally walks them over to the sign painter because the black pointed ears weren't enough. He wanted them to have white tips, and we had the actual festival sign writer who was like an award-winning artist spray painting the tips. And then all the crew, big burly guys with tans and lifting heavy things, all with ears on, and I bloody love my crew family.
Yeah.
But with Vix, I was saying, with Vix and I, we only connected via Tinterweb. You just know that you're going to know people, and like you and myself.
Yeah.
Whereas I've spoken to her very briefly on the phone because I wanted to run already past her, and like we've chatted a few times, and there's an openness about her that I really appreciate as a fellow female comedian.
Yes.
Sometimes you speak to other female comedians and they're sort of like, how much can I give of myself?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to be here. And Vix is just so, I'm not going to say down to earth because I don't know if that sounds derogatory anymore. Like, oh, she's like, but no, she's just genuine.
Yeah.
And you know what, Vix, if you're ever in a fight, love, I'll hold your handbag. Yeah.
And if you're ever sick after a night out, we'll hold your hair back.
Oh, I got a hairband for you as well, love.
Yeah. Oh, my hair's too long to do proper cat ears. I can't figure it out.
Ooh, we've got a late comer coming in. John Rue.
John Rue. He's in from Twitch. Because that's something we don't mention to everyone, is you're all in different places because we're broadcasting across Twitch, YouTube, Facebook.
I know, and we need to sort our Periscope out because the Periscope is down.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So I'm having a fag now. If I'm going to paint on my face, I'm having a fag. Right. So we're not going to play a clip.
No.
But we will say about this because last week Sarah, the delectable Sarah, recommended Ghosts, which is they're about 25-30 minute long. I think it felt quite
30 minutes,
30 minutes. Would you call it a sitcom? I'd say it a sitcom.
I would call it a sitcom because it is a sitcom.
Because it's such an ensemble cast. It's not like just, do you know what I mean? There's if you actually sit down and write down how many characters there are, it's fucking loads.
Shed loads.
That's not even including the basement. So you suggested it, so I get to go first. Me. So Sarah suggested it because she knows how I love a vaudeville traditional comedy, sitcom comedy, where sometimes I feel nowadays that sitcoms are too based in reality. If it's going to be a comedy show, you are allowed to be surreal. And you haven't got to go as far as Mighty Boosh to be.
No.
It's not going to be absurdist.
No.
But you can have a tweak on it. And I'd noticed this program before, and it's from the Horrible Histories family, and that's why I'd written it off. I thought it was just it was just an add-on of the Horrible Histories family, but it's not. And it's got the amazing what's her name? Katie Wicks.
Yes.
Katie Wicks, and I absolutely adore her. So the premise is a husband and wife, they're looking for a house, can't afford anything. Ding dong. Her great second removed third aunt, twice married, has died, and she's the only
distant relative.
So she's inherited this huge house. But it's haunted. And the ghosts don't want them to be in the house because they're very accustomed to having their own house to themselves. And one of them, who was a late 80s disgraced politician, has the ability. So if you think about Ghost, the movie, you know, the guy that was able to move the bottle top with just a slight, that is this ghost's superpower. So he can move a teacup a millimeter. Ooh, she's leaning out of the window, and I've watched it back. It's very ambiguous. Did she fall or was she pushed?
She was pushed.
Well, he takes credit for it. No, because she wasn't.
He was thinking about it, and I don't think he had the powers of proper.
I don't think he had the power.
She felt something, and she fell out. Yeah,
exactly. She may have felt a gentle breeze and gone. Ooh. So she banged her head, and if anything, it made the situation worse because she was then able to see, hear, and communicate with the ghosts.
Yes, and through a near-death experience.
Yeah, if you die in that location, you are tied to that location. So you've got a Neanderthal.
Yeah,
you've got you know, all of from the dandies all the way to the Victorian, Edwardian, you know, the military, the First, Second World War. You've got them all.
Yeah.
And it is such a great ensemble cast.
Yes.
And I think there's fair representation between men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think about it. I mean, it does feel like there's more men, only because probably the plague is quite more male downstairs. But there's just the ghosts are, it's very rent-a-ghosty for the 21st century. And it's adorable and I love it, and there's slapstick and there's basic infantile humor, but there's so much clever stuff. Like the fact is, the woman, she falls out of the window every night because actually she was pushed out the window every night because her husband was caught in a sandwich between the groundsman and the gardener, and instead of their finding out that he was homosexual and ruining his life, he killed his wife.
Yeah. It's kind of weirdly bang on, isn't it? Because, you know, I love how when you watch all of them, it does have these commentary about all the different, you know, it has social commentary without shoving it in your face.
The same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it because she doesn't like shame on a house. Whereas the headless guy goes, well, actually, I was 14, my wife was 30, because we got married in like the 800s. If we were able to choose who we were married to, maybe it would be, you know, we'd stay together. And then she realized maybe if she wasn't married to a guy who was a homosexual, she would be alive. So that's
the most of the social commentary over the two series. You know, and it's not really in your face, and that's probably the most that they really went to town. That's them going to town on social commentary.
They handled it. It was one of my favorite episodes. It really was. I just and I binged it. I binged it to the point where I probably can't remember half of them because it was like next.
I binged the first series. I watched it like 3 times in a row. Couldn't wait for the second series, and I think I'd been like, oh my god, I can't wait so much. And when I watched the second, and I binged a lot. I watched the second series probably within 1 or 2 days. And I was a bit like, oh, it's not as good as I thought it would be. And then literally last week, I was like, I've got to watch something. I'll just chuck it on. And I really enjoyed it more than I did the first time I watched it. So I just think I've been like looking forward to it so much. It is really good. And it's one of those shows that you need to watch more than once because you just miss stuff.
Yeah,
you missed so much stuff. And I've watched probably the first series probably about 4 times now, and the second series I've watched twice. So I'll probably watch again.
On a different actor on each rerun and go, I didn't know they were doing that in the background.
Yes, it's so good.
The sort of the Marie Antoinette era, the black woman in the red dress with the big heaving bosoms, but she's got Kitty.
She's been because she's clearly an adult, but she's been infantilized as an while during her life.
Children kept their childhood for longer, especially women, because you wouldn't want to muddle their brains with things like tax and rights. I said this to you on the phone because I couldn't hold it in. I absolutely adore. If I'm standing behind anything, I will tell you, oh, do you want anything from downstairs? Right.
Yeah.
I'll also do the elevator. But when she said, oh, I'm just going by on my canoe. Oh, just the word canoe, exclamation mark. Thank you so much for recommending it and putting it in my life. It was amazing. It was past. I'd seen and thought, oh, it's probably not for me. I think it was a kiddie program. Mm-hmm. And that's because it is from the Horrible Histories people.
Yeah, I mean, there were actors in Horrible Histories. I don't know if they wrote much in Horrible Histories. I know they were actors. That's how they met. And then they've gone on and they've done, there's I haven't watched it because it's Sky and I'm not paying money to Rupert Murdoch if I can help it. So there's a series called Yonderland. They also wrote the film Bill, and that's on Amazon Prime. So if you loved this series, you will love Bill as well. It's really good. And they just go from strength to strength, and they're all still quite young. I mean, if you call mid-30s young, which I do. So I'm just looking forward to what they come up with. Like there'll be another series of ghosts. They're filming it now, I think, or I think there's going to be a Christmas special. And so there's going to be at least another series of ghosts. I think there might even be, hopefully there'll be at least another 2 more in it, because they've said, because I've watched interviews with the cast, there's loads of interviews on YouTube, the cast, and they've even said, like, originally there were going to be hundreds of ghosts, like hundreds, and then they realised while they were working it through that actually if there were hundreds of ghosts, it meant that the ghosts could just, if they got annoyed with one person, they could just go off and hang out with others. So that's why they narrowed it down to the amount of ghosts that they have. So I think there's still loads that they could do. Like in the last series, it is interesting, a bit like Orange is the New Black in terms of, let's find out how they died. But then there's so much they could do with their lives, and like I really love. Is it Thomas the poet? He's like, "Damn your eyes!" That's like my favourite bit.
It was damn your eyes, your head,
damn your eyes.
Knees and toes.
So good. It's so good. And then the actor was saying that the first time he did it, that the director was going, do bigger. And he was like, the last one he did is like, but I've already done this, the biggest acting I've ever done in my life. He's like, just do one more bigger. And it was like the most he could do it. And this was in the first episode, I think.
It sounds like a training exercise with Maggie Irving.
Yeah. And that's the one they used. So, and that's what I love. It's almost, it's almost pantomime. It's almost stereotype, but there's a real nuance. There's a lot of light and shade, of big and small. There's, it's not just over the top.
I think stereotyping gets a bad name because stereotypes are stereotypes because they're stereotypes.
Yeah. I mean, Heidi High was hugely popular. Similar sort of thing.
If you're watching this, I want you on this show. I've been in touch with your agent. Please, if you know Maddox, get in touch with her, please.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Come on, Ruth.
I should have asked Vix. She knows everyone.
I think we need to employ Vix as our booker. I'm so glad that you loved this, Lucy, because that's another good reason to do this review. And it might seem like we love everything. We don't. We don't just pick things to love it. We do. You know, we have good ones and not so good ones, but
to each other. Now, I can either go for mine, or I was at the online comedy club that I've been attending for the last 6 months, and I was speaking to Spider and all the gang, and I said, we did Living Single, and we talked about how I felt it was more like the Golden Girls than Friends, and then everyone started discussing, oh, it was before Martin, or they assumed that people of color were going to watch a people of color show, like they put it in a box, and it shouldn't have been. It should have just been presented as a show, not a people of color show.
For sure.
The Cosby Show was never been was like, oh, watch this. It's a comedy of black people. It was just the Cosby Show.
It's the Cosby Show. Yeah.
I think with Living Singles, it was like, oh, if you're a person of color, you'll like this show. And they never targeted like the world. They just targeted people of color. Yeah. So I said, have you got any other suggestions? And King David Lane had a suggestion.
Sure.
And it was called Benson.
That was a spin-off from Soap. I think. Was it? Benson.
The only footnotes he's given me is it didn't run for very long and it never got the attention it deserved.
Right. Unless I'm thinking wrong. Do you remember there was I think it only ran for a couple of seasons, and Billy, what's his name? Who's in When Harry Met Sally? Billy, come on, Ray, someone will know. Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal was in it. A young Billy Crystal was in it. It was called Soap, and it was a parody of soap opera at the time. And I've got a feeling that Butler was Benson, unless I'm getting it completely wrong.
It says Jessica Tate on the show Soap. So yeah, but Butler Benson Dubois is the smartest member of a widowed government Eugene Gatlin's household. He always manages to keep his head no matter what the staffers or the governor's family members throw at him. He begins his post on loan from his employer, Jessica Tate, on the show Soap.
Yes.
Part. Look at you with your knowledge. So this one is King David Lane's suggestion for our review.
Brilliant.
Great. And the full episodes are on YouTube.
Fantastic.
I watched the opening credits, and I think I watched some of these when I was tiny.
Right, yeah, I did too, but not as tiny as you because I'm 10 years older. But yes. Oh, that's a great suggestion. So that's Benson.
Yeah,
I love it. Looking forward to it. And it's Halloween week next week. So will you be able to do this on your own?
I will try my best. The urge to rub my nose right now is stronger than as if I was wearing a face mask.
Beauty is pain, Lucy. Beauty is pain.
Oh, I just really want to find my hanger.
Let's do it. Just rub your nose. Who's gonna give a shit? There you go.
There you go. My nose is still there. For our podcast listeners, thank you so much for allowing us to be so visual. But for our podcast listeners, if you search the kitchen sink, and because there's quite a few kitchen sink programs on YouTube, if you put the name of the guest onto it, so the kitchen sink with Dee Maxwell, the kitchen sink with Louise Lee, the kitchen sink with Vix Leyton, you will find us that way. So put the kitchen sink and then put the name of the guest of the episode you're listening to, because we love finding out all the different stats of all the different countries that you're from. I think it's absolutely marvelous. And thank you so much for supporting the podcast. And you're clearly telling people about it, because the numbers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're doing less and less and less for it. So please carry on listening. But if you ever do get the chance to join us in live, get on the chat and go, I'm one of your podcast listeners, and tell us where you're from. Or follow us at the Sink Girls on Twitter, or the Tea Kitchen Sink on Facebook. So please get in touch with us because we want to know more about what it's like to just sink and drive. Still loving that pun. If you can't watch us live, sink and drive. I added on.
Okay.
I
wasn't at the production meeting. That was not.
Your ukulele there, Bridgman.
I got my ukulele. And do you know what? In case anybody's wondering when the hell she's going to sort out her end credits, I've done the video bit of it. I'll have to do the music bit for our end credits. We might even have end credits by next week. Oh, Vix, thank you.
Lush.
So lush.
Right,
I think that's it, is it?
I think this is it. Yeah.
So we're going to watching.
We've enjoyed it no ends. It's been fun from start to finish, and I knew that Vix Leyton was going to bring the summer sunshine with us. And I knew the end would end up making us look like
I have to say, the end is more fun than the beginning, purely because I'm hammered by the end. I'm not completely hammered.
That's also her dating profile.
Hey! That's the name of your sex tape. Way!
Right, everybody, please be safe, wash your hands, and tell a friend about the kitchen sink. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. We've got weeks and weeks and weeks of guests already signed up. So please, you keep joining us. We'll keep entertaining you. See you soon, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Bye.